Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. I know there's other sessions going on, so appreciate the good turnout here. As Stephen has mentioned, my name is Jason Porath. I'm the VP of Mobile at 60 Global. I'm also here with David Van Voorhees, who's my partner at Adobe. He's the mobile specialist who operates in the sports vertical. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about what it means to own the mobile experience. And when I say own the mobile experience, it's really all about owning the engagement, owning the data, really owning the life cycle of your mobile experience in a world where mobile apps are now fragmented, right, across the App Store. There's a lot of fragmentation. So we're going to talk a lot about what it means to own the mobile experience. And when we talk about owning the mobile experience, of course, we're referring to the engagement opportunities that you have with your fans directly. Okay? And fans really represent the lifeblood of your organization. They form really strong emotional bonds with your team, with your brand, and with your stories. And they really thrive on this content. They thrive on your data that you provide them about your players, and they have a voracious appetite for more. And to them, it's personal. Right? They follow, they cheer, they participate, they share. And what do they rely on to do all these great things, right? Obviously, they rely on mobile. They rely on their devices, their smartphones, their tablets, always on, always connected. And as we know, mobile is the primary consumption device for all digital media. And within that world, apps dominate. 80 to 90% of time spent on mobile devices are inside of apps. So I'm probably stating the obvious here when I say that mobile is an unprecedented opportunity to provide incredible brand opportunities and capitalize on connections with your fans. We're almost 10 years in to the smartphone revolution, so like I said, I'm probably stating the obvious here. Except when we talk about owning the experience, there's a white elephant in the room, okay? There's a problem, okay? The problem is that the greatest opportunities that you have to connect with your fans and your brand experience is controlled by companies outside of your organization. Doing a quick search on the App Store for a team that my family loves to follow results in over a half a dozen results of third-party developer products, okay? And these third parties now control the most important engagement channel that you have. Okay, so what's the impact of that? What's the significance? Well, they control your brand experience. They engage directly with your fans. They monetize your content and merchandise. And they collect valuable data about your fans. And you don't control any of it until today. So 60 Global and Adobe are here to talk about a way for you to take back control of these experiences with Adobe Mobile Solutions. Okay? AEM Mobile is a standalone content delivery system and app development framework that liberates your contents from third-party dependencies and hands the control and the experience back to you. Okay? It's a CMS publishing platform that anybody in the organization can use to create, to publish, to distribute great brand experiences. Okay. Our solution's already been adopted by industry leaders such as the Oklahoma City Thunder. Just recently, they unveiled version 1 of the Thunder Plus app with our solutions. Ron Matthew, who's the director of Interactive at the OKC Thunder, says that the rapid growth of mobile demanded we look for a platform that can give our fans access to unique content every day, wherever they are. So the OKC Thunder now has the ability to easily drag and drop content in, author what they want on their terms with their content, and publish it directly to their fans without a third-party dependency controlling that experience. Okay? So we're going to take a closer look at what this means. We're going to talk a little bit about the features here. I'm going to hand the mic over to David Van Voorhees to go over that. He's going to describe the 6 main areas where AEM Mobile can make the biggest difference in your organization.
Perfect. Thank you, Jason, and thank you, everyone, for having us here today to tell you a little bit more about Adobe and our mobile solutions. So first what we're going to talk about is how AEM Mobile essentially focuses as the hub and the life cycle from your application from A to Z. So that's everything from creating your content publishing it to different audiences. We'll show a little bit more about the ways that you can publish that content to public marketplaces or restricted distribution for something like some of the other sales apps that we'll do a little bit of a deeper dive into. Engage with that audience, so follow up with push notifications, in-app messaging, being able to convert that audience. Retention is obviously key for our fans, making sure they're coming back in, and we're constantly keeping them involved within this environment. Measuring that, so leveraging certain solutions like within the Adobe Cloud, analytics, what we already know about this audience, and being able to use more effective means of being able to communicate with that audience and build really a pattern of behavior of their engagement within the app. And also personalization, again, being able to leverage that information that we know to deliver more of a customized message and speak towards some of the success they have of that more personal message and the results that it will drive. So, Jason showed a quick little glimpse of it, and here again I'll show you. When we're creating the content, it's essentially a CMS-driven type of dashboard that can be based in Adobe's Experience Manager. We do have other extensibility to another CMS if that's not what you're currently using. AEM Mobile is the solution itself. So it allows you an opportunity to really drag and drop content, be it text, video, images, to dynamically create once and distribute everywhere. To mobile devices, we'll go into a little bit more detail, some of the ones that we provide as well. There's also a web experience, but really focusing on that create once, distribute everywhere. So from the distribution stand, this is where we support right now, Windows devices, Android environment, as well as iOS, but our distribution is not exclusively within these public forums. You can also have something that can be restrictively distributed. So if it's something, for example, like a sales enablement app that I talked about a little bit before, you don't want that to be public facing. We have means of distributing that application so it can be controlled. So engagement, again, talking about push notifications, how can we customize that and deliver to a specific segment? So we're leveraging what we already know about our users, maybe through Adobe Analytics of who hasn't been in to visit the app in the last month or two, and how do we customize a message targeted just towards that group? With that customized message, you're going to see a much greater return in who's engaging with that individual message, and as a result, much more engagement within the app itself. So I'll show here a quick example. You can see the, oops, sorry, let me go back one. You can see the push notification popping up, someone going into the app itself, navigating through a couple of the browse screens, and then getting to an actual game day preview of some of the content, or it could be a program of that individual game, updated daily. So this is where it really gets exciting. So we have some amazing technology partners that have presented before us that are going to be presenting through the rest of the day. And what we're trying to say to you is that we need to innovate and really work alongside with those partners. And it's the extensibility that's key with this. Like Jason showed before, that screen of so many different apps that are scattered across the environment, we're talking about centralizing this into a single user experience, where it's your branded app, and we're not cluttering the environment where you have constant apps that are always being published or updated and managed on a variety of different resources. So especially around concessions, ordering, merchandising, auctioning, and more. So we want to be able to integrate with those solutions and offer a broad extensibility with that as well, and control in each one of those. So we're no longer understanding our audience in segment B or segment A, but we're understanding this audience as it comes into our single app. So AEM Mobile includes analytics. We have Analytics Essentials, which is our first flavor. It's going to focus on a lot of your core metrics that come into the application itself. We also have extensibility to mobile analytics, which will allow for things like geo-targeting, being able to provide in-app messaging to your certain customers. And it's a really nice, easy-to-use, visualized dashboard that doesn't require someone with a deep analytics background to understand how to leverage that information. And then also, obviously, a very important category for this entire week is going to be the personalization. So what's that experience like when you need to deliver an in-app message? We can base that on an experience that someone's actually navigating through the application itself, so what we're learning within that environment. But like I said again, that extensibility to our things like analytics, where we know what their engagements are on other solutions, and we're using that to leverage a more customized experience and message to someone within the game. So this could be scanned to earn more points. You could connect it to a proprietary Wi-Fi and deliver an exclusive offer within a stadium location or something like that. So AEM really unites your content, your data, and it is able to really be able to integrate these native utilities that you're looking to leverage before. So never before has there really been a point solution where you're easily able to build the structure, the UI, update it in real time to your audience, where they're not required to make an app update, but they're just swiping through, much like in a Facebook. If you would see new content being in your news feed, you'll swipe to snap new content in. And also be able to have the strength of that back end for both leveraging the environments and the resources you have, be it a PowerPoint, being able to ingest that directly into that as a solution we provide, or leveraging those analytics. So again, it's the ability to create, publish, engage, convert, measure, and personalize that experience. So to be able to create the app, we have a variety of different multiple use cases that we put together for this event. Some of them we've talked about. Fan engagement, there are templates that are available. We're working with partner 6D that has developed these already. So if you're looking to really add that personalization, these are quick to deploy. We also have event apps that we've built, and we're not really isolating you to a single template where we're handing it off to you and then this is what you're stuck in. The idea is that you're owning this app. You're owning what the experience is with your end users. So if you want to build out a custom section that's individual just to your team, or as a partnership that's an entire tab just to a local restaurant next door, you can develop that. This app is yours to control and manage however you'd like. And stadium sales, so the ability to be able to go in, and again, this would take advantage of something like our restricted distribution, to be able to share this with an organization or even an individual and require a sign-on so they can have a unique experience. And then they'd be able to go through and understand better information of how to be able to purchase this, or even directly engage with them via email and follow up with that sales rep. So the results. With that, I'm going to hand it back over to Jason.
So just to kind of bring it home here, really what we're talking about here is, using tools that will help you own the experience and consolidate your efforts into a single platform while retaining all of the extensibility that your company relies on with third-party developer products, right? So it's a single hub and allows you to own the engagement. So the results, liberate your content, right? As David mentioned, you have complete control over what this experience looks like. You're not dependent on templates that are developed by third parties. We've given you some starter templates to use that have proven effective already, but we can obviously customize those to your experience that you want to create. Own the fan engagement, so you now have a direct relationship without the third party, directly with your fans. And obviously, capturing the data and monetizing the experience for yourself. With our tools, we can have you up and running to a live product within 6 weeks. And we would like you to please come visit us tomorrow. We're hosting a demo day here at the Hilton, where we can actually take you through the workflow from creation to publish and show you how the whole turnkey system works. Okay, and with that, I thank you very much, and we're open for questions.
How does this sync up with the Thunder's website? Is it dual publishing essentially?
It is. So the system is based on their WordPress instance. So we're actually taking the same tools they're using to publish to web, and then having those published through to the mobile app through WordPress.
Are you exploring it? Because I'm just seeing the example you gave of on a game day, and for us with the NHL, that is a ton of content. So dual publishing can get pretty tedious if you're hopping from a league resource onto this solution. So I'm just wondering, is there any plans in working through a more integrated system that kind of syncs everything, publish it once, it goes to a lot of different outlets?
So this is that solution,
Okay.
essentially. We do integrate the extensibility we work with right now. Drupal WordPress AEM is obviously what we consider to be the best experience when you're, that's Adobe's experience manager through that process. But we do have extensibility to other CMSs already in place. And we actually also have extensibility APIs where they can be integrated to those other, even if it's a proprietary grown CMS, we do have extensibility to those. Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about how you're helping teams deepen that consumer connection through maybe the upfront data that you're collecting,
Yeah.
what have you?
Absolutely. So I'd say to that, there's really 2 points. One is leveraging the analytics within the application itself. So to be able to better understand where they're navigating within the application, we can make real-time adjustments to how we're creating that application. So if we know, for example, in our home screen that we've got 5 main sections of content and one of them is being underutilized, rather than sending out some sort of form or understanding what that engagement is like and kind of doing A/B testing, what we can do is in real time make an adjustment to that. So that's one way we're adding more personalized experience for the end user is through how they're engaging with the app. The second is probably one of the greatest advantages of the solution, which is leveraging Adobe Analytics. So we understand your audience not only from this, but how they're engaging with your website, how they're engaging elsewhere. And what we can do is segment that audience and deliver custom notifications to them. So if it's an audience member that hasn't been back in 3 months or so, if we're doing geo-targeting, for example, and we want to have an in-app message saying, you know, thank you for checking out this section, but we notice you also haven't been to our section on our game day books, or you haven't checked out our, you know, fan catalogs, and we noticed that recently you've been checking a lot of merchandise online at the NFL store. So we can really personalize and send out that message to that end user based on that engagement.
To follow up on John's question about the website, so if we're producing all this content for our website and it's mobilely responsive, why would we create another platform of the same content if it was the same content in terms of us not having the bandwidth to produce potentially different content for different platforms?
Yeah, absolutely, and very good question. So what we find is that there's a lot of different advantages to having a mobile app in addition to a web experience. Some of those are having the actual real estate device itself. So someone having your branded app stored on their individual device is important. Right now, if you think about if you were going to go into Facebook, you're probably not going to open up your cell phone, go into Safari, type www.facebook. You're going to open up the app because that's the best user experience. We're also being able to segment things like push notifications, in-app messaging. But another really important fact for that is the extensibility to certain utility functionalities. So gyroscoping, you know, augmented reality, those types of things you can't have an experience with a web app. And people are spending more time. I think we saw earlier in our analytic around 80 to 90% of engagement is within an app. It's not within the mobile browser itself. So being able to have an app presence is extremely important and mission critical for your business.
And I don't think it's one or the other. I think they're complementary.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you guys. That
Great.
is all the